Welcome back to Mostly Superheroes, back here in the basement on Thursday, February 6, 2025, with another nerdy episode for you. Here, me, your host Logan, Andy the Giggler, Scotty Scoop, Sam the Sleeper's back with us, and back again after almost a year. He's coming back to St. Louis. One Night of Queen creator Gary Mullen's on the podcast. This is Mostly Superheroes. Enjoy the show. Gary Mullen, One Night of Queen. We talked to you back in April of 2024, and it was such a fun episode. I listened to it today, and we covered such a gambit of your history and your background and all of your accolades and your incredible Freddie Mercury impersonation performance. And you're coming back to St. Louis March 15th to the factory again, and we're so excited. Welcome back to the studio. He's zooming in from Scotland, Gary Mullen.
Across the pond, they say.
Yeah, across the cold one right now. It's not exactly the warmest. It's not exactly a Bermuda short weather right down here in Scotland. It's pretty cold.
Cold right now. You mentioned you're on your hiatus. You have a tour that's coming up. We're going to see you soon, but you're on that break right now. How have you been, Gary? How did the tour end last year? How's your break been? And, you're looking forward to the next tour.
Yeah, we spent a month in France there, just going from coast to coast in France, bringing on a new show, because we've got a brand new show. So every year we try and do something different. So we've got a brand new show. So we were doing that for a month. Great reviews, went down really well, with a lot of fun. Went over very quickly. And we're bringing the show to you guys in 6 weeks' time. And say it's anybody that came to see it before, it's different again this time, because we're always trying to give something a little bit different for the diehards and for the greatest hits. Everybody wants to get the greatest hits, but we try to throw a few things in that maybe we haven't done before, or we haven't done for a long time. So it keeps us on our toes as well, because I was actually introducing songs in France and they weren't even in the show. The guys were just going, "It's not in," and I was like, "Oh right, it's not that song. Let's find out what it is together, shall we?" And then the intro would start to a song, and I'd just join in.
That's wonderful. And we're excited to see you again too. We were all talking about it. We were trying to make sure our calendars could potentially be clear to bring a crowd even, from our Mostly Superheroes humble crew here. But we hope you just sell out the factory so everybody can get a taste of this show. We got I think me and Sam were kind of introduced to it last time we talked back in April, and I've been following you ever since. Just with online, that's one of the great things. It's just kind of keeping an eye on your where you're going, where you're at, and you guys you're working hard. You and your team out there putting on a great tour and a great show, and we're excited to talk about it. We'll come back to it again toward the end. You can get your tickets right now. I think Ticketmaster.com is where you're sending folks, but definitely look up the Factory St. Louis. And where are you sending people to become fans of One Night of Queen? Where's the best place online to go?
I think the best place is Instagram, because we have quite a big Instagram presence. I mean, I've got my own Instagram page, which is The Real Gary Mullen, which the reason why it's The Real Gary Mullen is because about 8 years ago, someone hacked my account. Someone called Chi Fauster, which was a great comedy name. And our drummer John said one day, "Why are you suddenly called Chi Fauster?" And I was like, "I'm not." So I lost my entire account, gone. Instagram wouldn't renew it. I had to start from scratch again. So I'm on there, and all the guys, if you look on there, there's a One Night of Queen Instagram page as well. You can see where we're at, what we're doing, and sort of day-to-day things happening on the tour, general silliness, as well as clips of the show and behind-the-scenes stuff.
Very cool. Awesome. And we actually talked about some stuff and even some promises that we kind of made the last time we all talked that we're going to circle back to when we come to the show again toward the end of the episode. But in the meantime, I want to do some housekeeping, some hellos, and start with you, Mr. Andy the Giggler. You have an announcement about the one and only Wrestlemania.
The Royal Rumble was this past weekend. Always falls on my birthday weekend, which is just a blessing. One of my favorite events of all time. But it's here that I would like to announce that I will be attending Wrestlemania 2025.
Wow, April 19th and 20th?
Las Vegas, Nevada, April 19th and 20th. I don't know which day I'm going, but
you did it, man.
It's happening.
You did
it's happening. I know.
Finally made it to Wrestlemania.
I know. A few years ago, there was an inside joke between a few of our friends when Royal Rumble was here that I was the winner. The people that were there, they understand the inside joke. Maybe if you've been in the studio, you understand as well. But the Royal Rumble winner always gets their shot at the title at WrestleMania, and it's finally time.
Dude, congratulations. That's
Thank you.
awesome.
Thank
The countdown's on April 19th and 20th. Like this makes me busier too, because now I got to make sure I'm going to help you with your trip. If you need any help with travel, first of all, but also
you want to go?
I mean, do you have a seat open?
No, I don't even have I haven't bought my ticket yet, but it's happening. And
this seems kind of.
I'm going.
I hope you didn't get your hopes up.
I'm going to have to go premature. I'm going to have to go alone because my wife already has said she's not attending.
She's not going.
So if
she won't even go with you to Vegas.
No, we're going to Vegas together.
Oh, I see.
She's just not going.
What happened was I planned a trip to Vegas unknowingly that it was WrestleMania weekend, and then realized that it was the case. And when in Rome, like, I'm not going to miss this when I'm there. So I think we're going to stay an extra day. And I might have to go alone unless anyone out there wants to join.
Okay, so I might an open seat. Either way, WrestleMania trip for the giggler.
Yeah,
we'll be covering it on the podcast. Can't wait, dude. Congrats,
Gary. Maybe you guys will be in around Vegas at that time.
Are you a wrestling fan, Gary?
I used to be back in the glory days of sort of, Hulk Hogan, British Bulldog, Bret Hart. In fact, actually, we were in Germany a few years back. There was two arenas that were side by side. We were playing this sort of smaller 3,000-seater, and next door was the WWE. And we got to go in and watch the guys train and warm up for the event that night, and it was incredible. They're all going, "Hey man, hey Queen," and we're like, "All right, guys, how you doing?" And
don't hurt us.
it was pretty intense to watch these guys. I mean, these guys, they work hard. I mean,
yeah, they're monsters.
Anyone that thinks it's caudology or nonsense should watch them do their warm ups. I mean, it was just. I was like, that's you guys warming up. Really? It was incredible. And they're huge.
I know you're a big fan too, Scotty, so you're jealous. You might be going.
I maybe.
Scotty.
You got a suitcase big enough to fit me?
Scotty, Andy, and Steph.
Let's go.
All right, man, congrats. More to come. And Scotty, actually, how you doing, Scotty?
I'm doing great.
Welcome back. So why don't you tell us about a movie that you just recently saw? You saw it early and had a screening.
Oh, yeah. So last night I saw Love Hurts, starring Ke Huy Quan.
Goonies. Loki.
Loki, I played OB. He was in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yes.
This movie, if you're into a Jackie Chan style, kung fu, quick, kind of, goofy, funny.
I love all the Rush hours.
Okay, so this might be for you.
Okay.
I will say the dialogue and the acting, not really top tier. But the action is really, really good. And they do some crazy stunts, some real inventive stuff that you would see with a Jackie Chan or a Jet Li or any of those kind of cheesy kung fu movies.
Okay. Fair share. Nice spoiler-free review.
It was very short. I think maybe 85 minutes. So you're in, you're out. It's got a little love story, Valentine's Day twist.
And you went with Shanna?
I did go with Shanna. The first time she got to walk the red carpet. And
yes. Usually you take your kids.
Yeah, usually I take one of my kids. Set up in the press row.
Yeah.
It was a good time. It was a enjoyable movie. 3.3.
3.3 out of a 4.0. You might remember our weird and goofy scale, Gary. Are you familiar? This is a brand new movie that came out. Have you heard of this one? What's that title again?
Love Hurts.
Yeah, I have, and I saw the trailer for it, and I thought it looks very Jackie Chanish, and I love Jackie Chan. I loved all those, I loved all his original sort of Golden Harvest movies, and then the Rush Hour movies were brilliant. So yeah, it's one that's kind of on my radar, and that's what we do when we've got days off in America. You guys have got very cool cinemas, so we're like, let's go see movies. So that's probably going to be on my hit list at some point to go and see as well.
Awesome. And we're going to bounce around a lot today, and we'll talk about movie theaters, actually. An event we did, though, recently, Trivia Bingo at Four Hands Brewing Company. We had a really successful event. We gave away over 30 prizes from local businesses, and we're going to do it again. So Thursday, March 20th, mark your calendars. Four Hands Brewing Company downtown will be doing another Trivia Bingo. It's going to be TV and film. So we'll keep it kind of broad strokes. If you've seen some of the mainstream TV and film in the world.
Pop culture.
Pretty much pop culture, leaning into TV and film. We'll have specified categories. We might even kind of live poll to see like what kind of crowd we're working with, because we do custom trivia bingo. That's simple hints with simple answers, and man, lots of prizes. So March 20th, mark your calendars for the next Mostly Superheroes trivia bingo. And we have an announcement. Taps for Team Jakey is back. Sam Zeller, how are you, man? Welcome back.
Dude, I'm good. Better after this news.
This is good news.
This is long time coming.
You-
I can't even remember the last. This is a long time event for Team Jakey that we used to put on years ago in Clayton, and I can't even remember the last time we did it. COVID for sure killed it, but I think it stopped even before COVID. So this has been, I mean, we're talking eight years plus since we've had this event. So this is going to be great. Still details to come.
Yeah, totally. But we have a date, which is the important thing. May 22nd at the Four Hands downtown. Yeah, we got a mutual friend in Four Hands. You guys have been working with him forever. And then the elevator 1 minute pitch for Gary. That's, getting refreshed. Team Jakey in the Stigma mental health advocates here in the St. Louis area for over 10 years. Have raised over $400,000 and can in that time and contribute it to Provident Behavioral Health here in St. Louis and the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention Missouri chapter. So they're small and mighty, and now they do their big cornhole tournament in September, fall, and that's where they raise a lot of their money.
Yep.
It was so big that you guys were like, we used to do the Taps for Team Jakey happy hour community events. Let's kind of do a kind of in between.
Yeah.
Like, kind of like a cornhole tournament in between a casual happy hour, mash it together, and May 22nd, mark your calendar, 2025, Team Jakey's back.
Yeah, I want to pack the place.
Yeah.
As much as they'll let us.
Yes.
Gary, try to fly in for it if you can.
I think we'll just be leaving America, so who knows, might just try and swing by.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's on the calendar. And then a teaser, we got a collaboration with Team Jakey, Four Hands Brewing Company, and Alamo Drafthouse in the works. So that's a teaser. More to come. Really excited. And this is where we're going to focus on Captain America Brave New World for a moment. Coming into the theaters February 14th. And you may have seen us locally here on the news, Fox 2 this morning, helping to promote some stuff that's going on with Captain America. The Wheel in St. Louis Union Station downtown, the Ferris wheel here in town, is creating a Captain America shield in lights. So this Saturday, February 8th, it's going to be the shield, the lights on there. And you can also win some stuff. First 50 people that show up can win some free stuff. And on that note, we're going to see Captain America Brave New World February 21st at our staple screen and social, hang before and after the movie, win cool prizes from local businesses for the price of your movie ticket. And we're seeing it February 21st. Those tickets are on sale now. They're linked up at mostlysuperheroes.com/events. And that's where I want to pause and say, Gary, how is your anticipation? We actually did talk about Captain America briefly when you were on last year. How's your anticipation for Captain America Brave New World?
I'm looking forward to seeing Red Hulk. And you've got Grumpy Harrison getting even grumpier and angrier. That should be something, But yeah, I think it's going to be great. I'm looking really interested to see what they do with the character of Sam. Obviously, from what I watched, obviously the Falcon, the Winter Soldier, and how it transitioned from him being Falcon to being Captain America. So I'm interested to see where they go with it and how they introduce Red Hulk, how it all comes around. So yeah. Like I say, I am a geek, so I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely, same here. This has been, doing this podcast this year this movie has been kind of the first feeling of like extending that movie experience. Like, man, this movie's been on the calendar for so long, and we keep like doing like little events and talking about it, and just like the anticipation's big to where like now it's like, don't let us down. Hopefully they got a good cut on the table. We all want to see it perform. We're Sam Wilson fans on this podcast. And, if you had to watch one thing before that movie, go check out the TV show, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And then on the MCU slate coming around the corner, Daredevil Born Again, March 4th. So if you're not rewatching Daredevil stuff, I've reshared some really great lists on our Instagram channel at Mostly Superheroes. I've reshared some stuff from Get Fandom, Screen Rant, some guides for like, here's some episodes to check out. Here's some, you don't have to necessarily watch everything that's ever happened with Daredevil. And we'll still do like a little Road to Daredevil discussion on this podcast. Are you a fan of that one, Gary? You going to watch Daredevil Born Again?
Absolutely, yeah. I think it has one of the best fight scenes. The fight scene with Daredevil in the stairwell is one of the best continual fight scenes that I've ever seen. It was just so well choreographed.
Right there,
But yeah, I'm a big fan.
right there next to the one. Have you seen Deadpool and Wolverine?
Yeah, exactly the same kind of vibe. That continual, just non-stop.
Yeah, the one.
I don't know
one
if it's
take.
glorifying violence, but
Mhm.
it was good.
Yeah,
It
I
was
mean,
very good.
that's what's great about these superhero movies is like it's like fun violence. I don't know. I
Yeah.
guess violence is fun for all the bad people that do it too. So that's not good.
They
Yeah,
were all,
those,
as Alamo says, you know, they were all bad.
Yeah.
those one take shots where they just continuously
Moon Knight did one.
do that. Yeah, the Kingsman.
Mm.
Kingsman had one.
Yeah.
Oh man, really good stuff.
All right, guys. I think we should go ahead and jump right to Fantastic Four: First Steps. A trailer came out.
Whatever life throws at us, we'll face it together. As a family.
Woo! That score is hot. That is the hot Marvel score
Yeah.
for you. Like that was the energy so high. Like I am really excited for that. I'm very excited.
Welcome to the family.
Welcome to the family.
That's really cool.
Family.
Oh my
like-
god,
The Beatles or something at the end.
dude, that was amazing. And the Human Torch just looks so good.
Yeah.
And everyone in this room has seen it. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, we
Yeah.
already asked you, Gary. This is out, so spoiler alert. If you're like me, sometimes I skip these trailers. This wasn't the case. Fantastic Four: First Steps has been on the calendar for a long time. It's coming out July 25th, and so I had to see the first footage of Pedro Pascal.
Vanessa Kirby,
Yep.
Yeah,
Eben
Vanessa
Moss
Kirby.
Baccarat,
Yep,
and he was in
Stranger Things.
Gladiator 2.
he
Yeah.
was Eddie in Stranger Things.
Oh my
It
gosh.
was, yeah.
Joseph Quinn.
Joseph Quinn.
Joseph Quinn. Perfect. So the cast is here. They did a Good Morning America tour. This was just this week. And the trailer is here. Scotty, I know that you had a list of stuff to help out Andy. He was messaging in the thread, like, help me out with some of these villains. Things that we see off the bat. The CGI for the Thing is here. I mean, it looks amazing. We get the suits. We get the full confirmation of, like, this is a retro world of, like, the 60s and the future of tomorrow type of look that we've talked a lot about on the show. Confirmed. Like, it's in this outside of what we've known in the sacred timeline or the general MCU Marvel movies, the 616. This is going to be outside of that, and they're going to drop us into their world. I think they're going to make us meet this team, fall in love with the team, and then there's just going to be some cool crossover stuff that we can look forward to, Secret Wars and whatnot. So we'll go around the room. I've been making Gary talk a lot. Let's go to our comic book resident, Scotty Scoop, and maybe help us out with some of the things you saw, and we'll see what shakes loose.
Yeah, like a real Tomorrowland look of the 60s, but like an advanced kind of thing. You know, we got a real good look at everyone, and a couple of hints maybe at like an origin story. I hope they kind of shorten that and do it and get it out of the way really quick, because we've already seen it a couple of times.
And I want to give a shout out right now to the Phase Hero podcast and Aaron Perrine and BD, Jamie Girock, Jenna Anderson over there. They've been awesome. They're having great shows. They have amazing merch that Andy's wearing, representing the shirt. Got some stickers. We got stickers, Phase Hero stickers. We're excited. And they talked about this trailer and exactly what you were just saying. You know, it's like, I think they're going to mix in origin stories. They were predicting in flashback style to where like we'll meet the developed team kind of first to like skip that long drawn out origin that we've seen in the previous films and kind of get to it and maybe do some flashbacks to some key moments, very like Lost style. So, you know, great take. I'm going to go ahead and look at you, Giggler, and then we'll go to Gary after that, and Sam will save you for last.
For sure.
Go ahead, Giggler.
I'm so excited for this movie. Like, they're making such a thing about it. Like the fact that they recorded that the trailer premiere live from the rocket launch. Like, it's just such a cool addition. I really like that touch. I mean, this is a big phase. Like, there's a lot that hinges on this movie for sure. But in overall, I mean, we all know that Doom's coming, and I don't know how he's going to get there. Obviously, this movie takes place in a different universe, or is the implication. But
but they're going to
really
connect
excited
it.
to see how this all plays out over the next couple of years leading into these big movies. It has a really cool feeling of for us. Like we're going to be nerding out about these movies for the next couple of years now. So
Yeah, and we hope that the trailer is like not revealing like some big stuff, right? Like Robert Downey Jr.'s back. Doom. We got to get a Doom teaser in this. I would love to see it. We get a tease of Galactus. That I guess in the comics can like resize himself, and it kind of looks like a smaller version of Galactus.
Yeah, he changes his height a lot in the comics. You can see him like
I feel like that's him
on Earth.
Like to quote like the Scarlet Witch, it's like that's me being reasonable.
Yes.
Like I can come down here and talk to you, or I could just be like, boom.
Or you can be a cloud. He can be a cloud if he wants to.
An amorphous cloud.
Gary, what were you thinking on this thing? You like Fantastic Four? You've been a fan. They're one of the original Marvel family here.
They are. It's one of the comic books I used to buy as a kid. I totally love the retro feel for it. You know, we've had so many movies looking very 21st century. This looks very 20th century, but like you say, with a more kind of futuristic twist. So yeah, I'm really, really curious to see what they do with them, because I wasn't a massive fan of the last couple. It was like,
yeah,
the Thing does look a lot more comic accurate, and I think the casting's great. I think it will be hopefully it's going to be a strong movie.
I can't believe that they made the Thing doing the cooking stuff, just like the character from The Bear. They're like, we need these people to make an association to The Bear. Sam, the Sleeper, what'd you think?
Man, he was talking about the last movies. This, the last movie I saw with them was the Miles Teller one.
Fantastic.
And this has got to be, for me, like a 180. I am jazzed. This hits me like in all the nostalgic feels that I love when they combine like that 1960s vibe with this futuristic spin. It reminds me, number one, of like one of my favorite video games that I got to play, which was Fallout 4.
Of course.
I just love that vibe. I'm just like infatuated with a futuristic past.
Yeah.
So I just can't wait. I think the cast is great. I don't know too much about the comics, but I've seen the prior movies. I'm the most excited for this one.
And I'll definitely echo Jenna Anderson. She has a YouTube channel. Go read some comics, and I'm echoing it because it's what I feel too. I think Pedro Pascal and Vanessa Kirby as Mr. and Mrs. Fantastic. Like that's palpable. Like that people can really fall in love with like a love story like that, because they're like this awesome couple in the comics, and so much happens, and they just interact with so many characters like throughout all those comics and things. So it's like anything's possible, but I think they're gonna stick to some hits here and get some hits, and then maybe surprise us a little. This has been such a long time coming. I'm so pumped. It looks so great. The Galactus, the suits, the Thing, the Baxter building. It was awesome.
Herbie,
the robot assistant, and then you rattle off some
Fantastic Car,
some villains that Andy asked about.
I think we'll probably see Mole Man in this. Maybe Molecule Man. I know there was a couple of guys that showed up in the trailer. Not really sure who they are yet.
Yeah.
So John
Malkovich.
Yep.
I don't know.
The trick will be, in the Chris Evans, Jessica Alba movies. They were good, but like they'd always have like now the Fantastic Four is doing a mission in the town. Like you just have to like do that elegantly and like really bring the action. I think a little bit of like taste of like what they did in Eternals. Hopefully they'll have some sequences that show us something cool. You're kind of like, whoa, and then move us on to something like heartfelt or something and keep it moving. Like, we'll see. It's a tough thing with these four characters, so really excited. Any last call for any thoughts on Fantastic Four First Steps trailer?
I'm just glad I don't think they showed too much in that trailer. So I mean,
but it was
the
a teaser
cast has
trailer.
impressive.
Still officially a teaser.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
I'm excited. They have impressive.
Look at the images
chemistry you can see already. So
like them going to space again. He's like, when we went up the first time, like they went back.
Yeah,
got to go back.
I mean, now it's definitely like Lost. The Lost podcast coming soon. Like one day. Hey, superhero fans, it's Logan here from Mostly Superheroes. To celebrate 40 years of Voltron, we've got something truly special for you. The Little People Collector Voltron 40th Anniversary Gold Label Set. This buildable set features the 5 original Defenders: Keith, Lance, Pidge, Hunk, and Princess Allura. Each figure comes with a helmet featuring a metallic finish and clear visors, except for Pidge, who needed room for his glasses. But that's not all. These Space Explorer figures are packaged in individual lions that you can assemble to form the mighty robot Voltron, ready to defend the universe from King Zarkon and his nasty robeasts. Head to store.voltron.com, linked up in the description of this podcast episode, and snag yours today. You can get 15% off your order by using promo code MOSTLY at checkout. That's store.voltron.com, and remember to use promo code MOSTLY.
Hi, everyone. I'm interrupting this podcast to talk about another podcast. Hi, I'm Randi Naughton. You know that lady from TV for so many years? Well, I too have a podcast called More to Say with Randi Naughton. Interesting conversations with interesting people. And when I say interesting, I mean amazing people. What about the Mac Daddy of all sportscasters, Bob Costas? Phyllis from The Office. Phyllis Smith is her name. Alan Hunter, one of the original MTV VJs. We talk to people about medicine, about tech, about travel, you name it. Great conversations. Now, they're, again, not interviews, they're conversations. So you never know where they're going to take us. Make sure when you're done with this podcast, check mine out. It's called More to Say with Randi Naughton, available wherever you stream your podcast.
When I'm looking to catch the latest flick or indulge in a film classic, there's no place like the Alamo Drafthouse Cinema at the City Foundry, St. Louis, Missouri. It's where cinema and comfort collide, with plush seats, state-of-the-art visuals, and a menu that's a blockbuster in its own right. For you movie buffs that can't get enough, check out the Alamo Season Pass. For just $19.99 a month, you can watch as many movies as you want, up to one per day. It's the ultimate ticket for those who live and breathe movies. That's not all. The Alamo Drafthouse is more than just movies. It's an experience, with events that celebrate film culture, trivia nights that test your movie knowledge, and a bar that's a tribute to cinematic absurdity. It's the ultimate hangout for anyone who loves a good story. You can also book the Alamo Drafthouse Cinema for your private events, birthdays, celebration, corporate events, or even staple events like our Screen and Social. So whether you're a diehard cinephile or just in for a good time, join me and the crew at 3765 Foundry Way in St. Louis, Missouri. Dive into their showtimes and events at www.drafthouse.com. And don't forget to tell them Mostly Superheroes sent you, because every movie night should be legendary. Hey squad, Logan here. You know what keeps our adventures fueled? The incredible brews from Four Hands Brewing Company. They've been our go-to craft brewery since 2012. Our studio fridge is always stocked with their finest, from Citywide Light to Incarnation to Divided Sky to Chocolate Milk Stout, along with the latest seasonal and small batch releases. Whether you're downtown, Kirkwood, the district in Chesterfield, or passing through St. Louis Lambert Airport, Four Hands has you covered. Grab a cold Citywide. They're a philanthropic brew created to give back to the St. Louis community. Since its launch in 2016, Citywide has raised over $300,000 for local nonprofits. For every case sold, $1 is donated to carefully selected charities. If you're in the mood for something different, check out Four Hands Extended Family 1220 Spirits and Withered Oak. They've got cocktails, seltzers, and non-alcoholic options to quench any thirst. And a special deal for you Mostly Superheroes fans. Mention Mostly Superheroes or the password MOSTLY to your bartender at any Four Hands location and you get your second beer free. Must be 21 years of age to redeem. Again, go to any Four Hands location, mention Mostly Superheroes, password MOSTLY, and get your second beer on us and Four Hands. Limited time promotion. Get it while supplies last. Visit them in person or head over to fourhandsbrewery.com. Follow them at Four Hands Brewing Co. on Instagram and social media. Cheers to great beers and even better times with Four Hands Brewing Company. All right, and last but not least, nerdy thing for the day, Superman. Countdown's on. It's in theaters July 11th. We're going to be busy in July. Busier than I'd even like to be. We're going to be busy. It'll be two big movies with Fantastic Four and Superman in theaters. Superman's July 11th. We got the trailer, amazing trailer, and then a TV spot that just came out a couple weeks. We got both of these linked up on the landing page at mostlysuperheroes.com. go check it out. And we definitely talked about Superman last time. Gary was on the podcast last year. I believe Freddie was a big fan of Superman and had he wore the shirt.
Wore the shirt, yeah. Wore the shirt more than once, actually. Wore it over the years. There's several different, even in the 70s, Freddie did one of his favourite shirts seemed to be a Superman t-shirt, a blue t-shirt with the red S on it. So yeah, he always seemed, even though he talks about not being a comic book fan and not liking Star Wars and the bicycle race song, I think he was a bit.
Well, and
I know Brian's is a real comic book fan, big Star Wars.
And I want to know about you, Gary, for sure, because this is if I said if you had one nerdy thing to talk about, and this is what you brought up, and we're the same way. Our anticipation is so high. We've started kind of this big countdown, and we just talked about Superman Returns with Brandon Routh on 2006, and we're going to talk about the Cavill films and just kind of look back at Dean Cain, and we always talk about Christopher Reeve and. This is such that fresh take. James Gunn's coming in, so this is your platform. Things that are on your heart and on your mind about this movie and your anticipation for it. How are you feeling, Gary?
Well, for me, the first movie I ever saw was Superman, the movie with Christopher Reeve when I was five years old. And I believed the tagline, "You can believe a man can fly." I left the cinema mouth open. I went in my little Superman costume, which incidentally I almost jumped out a fourth story window because my cousin told me I was Superman. My mom caught me by the cape, and my cousin got whipped for it's like I could fly. So yeah,
thank God for your mom.
Me thank God for my mom. But for me, this is a big one for me. I've been a fan, like I said, since almost as long as I've been a Queen fan. Loved all the Christopher Reeve movies. I really enjoyed I enjoyed the Dean Cain TV show. I loved the Superboy TV show. We got that over in the UK, which was great. I loved Superman Returns. I thought the story was a bit gappy. There was a few things that could have put it, bit better together. But this one looks amazing, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with it. And yeah, again, it's that whole thing of, who's this guy they've picked to be Superman? That's what they did when Christopher Reeve got the part.
Yeah.
Everybody 40 plus years ago. Everyone, who's this guy?
Yeah.
This skinny young guy, and then he turned up and did a job, and he's the guy that everyone remembers. So I think everyone's got to give David a shot at the cape, so to speak, and see what he can do. And James Gunn as well, he's got that success with Guardians of the Galaxy and all the MCU stuff. So let's see what he does with DC, and hopefully he'll do good things.
Yeah, none of the fans need to corn sweat it.
Oh, jeez. Wow. Oh, my God. You're fired.
I know I might be, but maybe I'll bring it back right out. James Gunn is from St. Louis. I don't know if we talked about that last time.
Oh, really?
Yes, he's a St. Louis legend.
Never knew that.
So we're even more just ecstatic, and I think, this is such a big character. Like, I think this is going to be a big movie. I think this is going to be a big box office. I think it's going to be I think the press tour is going to be crazy. I think that you bring out all the stops. We got to do a Deadpool Wolverine approach on this and pretty much just be everywhere for the month leading up to it, because it's just a celebration. I mean, at the very least, it's going to be better than what we've been served up in the latest Superman movies, I would say.
Yeah.
But the movies that featured him, I just expect this, even if it lets me down in certain ways, we're in for an improvement. Like, I just feel very confident about that. So I'm excited, man. Gosh, I'm so pumped. How about you, Andy?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think everyone agrees with you except for the Snyder Cut cultists.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, they're strong. They're still so vocal,
I
and I
know.
get it because like he had his style and everything. I understand. Like they're like, we got something here. I understand that. But,
Yeah, both things can still be good.
and you can have both.
Please get that through.
That's how
everyone's head.
That's how comic books work.
Yeah.
You just do Elseworlds and stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I've already bought a few Superman comics recently. I'm ready to, as I always do, just dive right in and head first.
Let's mix it up, Sam, the sleeper. What about you, Superman? You a fan, or are you just kind of like middle? Where you at?
I'm middle. You know my take on DC. I'm just not.
They got to convince you.
Yeah, and
I love it.
I'm interested to see James Gunn's take on this and see what he can do and flip me as not just a DC fan but a Superman fan. Not that I'm not a fan. It's just they're just not my favorite flicks. The Snyder cuts, all that stuff. It just hasn't been my vibe, and I'm excited to see what he does with this.
Well said.
Yeah.
Fair share. All right, Scotty, where you at? We haven't checked in a while.
I'm hopeful, and I think that's what the the movie looks like it's trying to convey is some hope. You know, the Snyder Cut had its ups and its downs, but it was kind of dark and dreary, and I don't think it really spoke to the true soul of Superman with the way they portrayed him. And I think this looks like it's going to do something different.
I wonder if you even just slightly embodied, just for a moment, a piece of Stephen Walden, our artist friend here in town, because he commented in the Mostly Superhero Squad and said that's what he's pumped about Fantastic Four and Superman is that they're hopeful.
Oh, okay.
They're hopeful.
Nice.
He's like, I'm glad that both of these are just like, hopefully we're gonna feel good.
Feel good movies.
We're not gonna kill Superman in this. We're not gonna kill Reed.
We've got plenty of stuff to be down about over here in the United States. We need to be uplifted.
Yeah. I feel like I know what DC was trying to do or has been trying to do, and I just don't know if it worked for me.
Yeah. What about you, Gary? On the the Cavill films, the Snyderverse, we had Man of Steel, which I think
it was
Batman vs Superman, the Justice League, and then the Snyder Cut.
quite dark. I mean, his family crest means hope. I mean, they're missing the whole reason why I think the Christopher Reeve movie worked is because it was hopeful. It was, it was exactly for the time, the coming out of the 70s, everything was pretty dark and pretty dismal, even in our country. And then suddenly there's this massive comic book of this guy whose family crest literally means hope. And I'm hopeful that the hope is in the movie and you get to see him in. You've got Crypto, take my money. I'm a Superman comic book guy.
Yep.
You've got his dog. That's my money. That's my cinema money. I want to go see it. I really, really hope that it's going to be everything that the comic books, it's a nod to that and not just some bizarre kind of offshot of, we'll take this story and we'll kind of do this with it and we'll give the poetic license. No, give the fans something decent.
Yeah.
Something that they can go, that was incredible. That was a real homage to the comic books, which I think, again, back to the Fantastic Four, that looks like what they're doing with that as well. They're really tipping their hat to the comic books and the real fans.
Yeah, man, we're eating good this year as Superman fans or superhero fans.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like these are big titles that the IP, the name recognition of Superman and Fantastic Four, it's going to hit a lot more people than your everyday superhero thing. It's kind of beyond, even like Iron Man, like it's famous now, but it's these are not no name.
Yeah, nobody
entities.
In 2008, nobody knew Iron Man.
Yeah, like which makes it all that much more impressive.
Yeah,
how it took off. All right, man. Superman in theaters, July 11th. Mostly Superheroes is counting it down. Gary, you're counting it down. Anything we should definitely keep talking about it and nerding out about it leading up to the big day.
Catch the trailer during the Puppy Bowl as well.
A new trailer?
Yeah, or I'm not sure if it's new or not, but I've specifically read that they're not having a Super Bowl like premiere of any trailer, and it's happening during the Puppy Bowl. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah,
maybe Crypto shows up at the Puppy Bowl.
There you go.
Then I would change the channel.
Draw.
I would for sure change the channel.
I just want to shout out James Gunn. James, if anything happens to Crypto, we're coming for you.
Yeah, please don't break our hearts.
Don't even.
Yeah. Well said too. At the Super Bowl this weekend, we could see spots for. I mean, a lot of this was predicted.
Lots of stuff. Yeah.
Like these two were predicted for that, and we've already got them.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, all right, well, show us some Thunderbolts. Like, show us a Daredevil.
Eyes of Wakanda. Wonder Man.
I don't know.
Ironheart might be a little too early for Wonder Man.
But Thunderbolts is in March.
May.
Oh, May. It might just be too soon.
Daredevil's March.
We'll definitely see something.
Yeah.
All right, and then what are your
Disney
Super Bowl
real.
predictions while we're here, real quick?
Eagles 30, Chiefs 27.
Scott?
Chiefs 30, Eagles 29.
Wow.
Ref interference.
Sam?
I'll go 32-30. We'll go there.
Chiefs winning?
Chiefs.
All right, I'm going to go, who's the other team besides Chiefs? Eagles winning.
Philly.
They're going to win 28-24 against the Chiefs.
Okay.
All right.
Do you watch NFL football? I don't, Gary. Do you?
I don't even support soccer in my own. In fact, being a Glasgow soccer fan, there's two teams who are complete, one is Catholic, one is Protestant. It's better for your health not to support either. So I'm not a sports fan. Honestly, you got the wrong bar in Glasgow wearing the wrong colours. You're coming out wearing your head in your hands.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
that could happen to me because I'd be so aloof. I'm not a sports person either. Carrie reminded me that the Super Bowl was Sunday. I was like, oh yeah. Like, she's like, where is it? I was like, I didn't know that it was happening, let alone where it is.
I definitely don't know that.
New Orleans.
New Orleans. Yeah. Thank you.
New Orleans.
All right. And then speaking of big, awesome productions and massive audiences with a show, One Night of Queen back March 15th at the Factory. Gary Mullen's going to be there as Freddie Mercury. Scotty can attest. Scotty, you tell us. We'll give Gary a break. What can people look forward to?
They can look forward to a show. Get your ass out of the seat, move around, enjoy yourself. I brought my family last time. Everybody had a great time. Everybody was singing along. I can tell you everybody around me in the stands was also having a great time. I can't wait to go back to this. It's so fun, and you do such a great job, Gary.
Thank you. We had a lot of fun. I mean, it was the first time we'd ever played the Factory. We got there and we'd sold it out. I mean, there's a wall backstage, like a sellout wall, and we made it. And it's the first time we'd ever been there, so that kind of blew us away. And the audience from the word go, because some nights you go on stage and you get the arms folded and go on what you got. And you're recalling a pot boiler. It's like putting a pot on the stove and the water's got to boil. And some nights the audience, the touch paper's lit. And that night in the Factory, the touch paper was lit. You could feel the energy when the lights went down. And it was like, oh, right, okay. This is going to be fun. And it was great. And we're so looking forward to going back. It was a very, very cool looking venue. To anybody that's never been to the Factory to see a gig, I mean, it is an old factory, which they've completely lovingly restored. I mean, even backstage, it's got a really cool vibe. And we're looking forward to going back. Let's see, we've got a brand new show this year. I've got a lot of things that we didn't do last time. Some things we haven't played for a long time or ever played. So we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a really good tour. And it's quite early on in the tour as well. So you're getting us when we're still in the sprint. We're not at the end when we're not saying that we flag, but you get towards the end of a tour and you're like,
it wears on you, I'm sure.
We'll get
you been out here. What day is it?
We'll get you while you're hot and ramping up. I like it.
Yeah, you get us on the sprint. You get us on the. We've just left the blocks, and we're away. So it should be good. And hopefully, by the time we hit you guys, I'll remember what the set list is, and I won't shout the wrong song out or the wrong order, and just get a load of disapproving head shakes from the connect to the guys in the band. That's not that one. All right, okay. I did that in France, 5,000 people, and I shouted, "This is Don't Stop Me Now," and through the mic, I just heard, "No, it isn't." And it was our monitor guy from the side of the stage. He just said, only I could hear, it's not. And I was like, only there is. Well, there you go. And you just make a joke of it, you carry on.
Yeah, that's what Scott always says. We're doing it live.
Yeah, we're doing it live. You
Exactly.
make a mistake, you roll with it.
And last time we talked, we're not ones to ask for stuff. We'll hint that we want stuff sometimes. We've done that. But you mentioned that we could maybe be on some kind of guest list or something in the last episode. I don't want to put you on the spot. I don't want to put you, but I'm going to.
You're on the spot.
Well, if you're on the guest list, you've got to dress on the Break Free video, and there is 4 of you. So, one could be Freddie, one could be Roger.
Oh,
one could be Brian, one.
Okay.
One could be the granny, one could be the schoolgirl.
I like
could be
your creative. Go ahead. Your creative brain is. I love it because last time you were on, you said you guys can come and be on the guest list, but you got to dress up as superheroes each one. You were like,
yeah,
I love it.
Thinking, no, you know what? No, the superhero one would be great. No, I think the superhero one would be even better because how many times do you guys gig next to Batman? That would be helpful. Do you guys think you're at Comic-Con? What?
Just rocking.
Get them in.
Yeah.
I think it's all about the Superman right now. Like maybe we just Superman out or something.
Everybody Superman's out.
Yeah, just dress up in different costumes. I mean, I did actually have a Superman muscle suit that when I was going to, my wife gave away to charity, which I was absolutely devastated about because any time I was home for Halloween and the kids would come trick or treating, I would be dressed up as Superman. And I was quite proud of my muscle suit. but I may have to buy another one and just hide it so that it doesn't get seen, because along with my Darth Vader mask and my lightsaber and the other things that, in fact, my buddy, it was my 50th birthday last year. My buddy came from New Jersey to come and see me, and he brought one of the metal, the Black Series lightsabers that he bought in Disney, and he got to security, and the guy said to him, what's in the package? Because it was gift wrapped, and he said, it's a lightsaber, taking it to Scotland, and the guy said, it's a kid's birthday, and he went, no, it's my buddy's 50th. And the guy just kind of smiled. He says, and then he watched it go through the x-ray machine, and he could see the outline of the lightsaber come through the x-ray machine. Brilliant. So I'm on the lookout. I may have to buy another Superman costume. I may have to go to the cinema dressed as Superman like I did when I was 5 years old.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm already thinking about let's get some Superman teas. We could Superman theme it up and maybe try to make it to One Night of Queen, March 15th, the factory. Tickets on sale at Ticketmaster.com. We'll have this linked up at mostlysuperheroes.com. Last call for questions for Gary, Mullen, Andy the Giggler.
What are you most excited to do on your 6-week break besides talk to us? That's obviously number one.
I've actually got I've got a flotation tank that I got for a birthday gift booked. And my brains, as my daughter-in-law says, I've got the bing bongs. Bing bong. Squirrel. So being in a dark enclosed space, floating in the water with my own thoughts, could be quite terrifying.
Yeah, I've heard about those.
Sounds relaxing.
Yeah. I don't know if it's going to be, and then I've got an infrared sauna and a cold plunge after that. So it's pretty much going to be an interesting day.
And Sam, what you got for Gary?
I got a dorky, little nerdy question here for you. It was something I wanted to ask you last time about a year ago, and I forgot. Okay, so if there was another variant of Gary out there, and he didn't like Freddie Mercury, and Gary Mullen in the Works was not about Queen, but it was about another band or group, who would it be? Who would it be?
Is it kind of like who would be next? Is that kind of your question?
Yeah, like if it couldn't be
who
that.
who would be after Freddie?
Yeah,
because Freddie's obviously number one. So who's your number two?
Yeah, who are you singing?
It's funny because I've got a couple. I mean, when I had my first ever band, it was a metal band called Hellfire, believe it or not, with John, our drummer, we were both teenagers. We did a lot of Black Sabbath covers, because we love Black Sabbath. So probably be maybe a Black Sabbath tribute or a Billy Joel.
Oh,
because I love Billy Joel too.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be a massive Billy Joel fan. All right.
I'm actually going to see him in Scotland. He's coming to play Scotland in the summer, and when I'm off, I'm actually going to go and see him at the rugby stadium here in Scotland. So yeah, probably that.
Vienna's my secret weapon song that keeps me level.
I like
Good
it.
song.
We didn't start the fire, but I think he hates singing that one.
I bet.
He hates it because it's monotone, and he forgets the words a lot.
He forgets it, yeah.
And then now that we're here, do you have any questions for us? Anything that you didn't that you want to get off your chest in the nerdy vein, or anything else at all before we start wrapping up?
In a comic book universe, you had to be one superhero. Which would it be? And that's each individually. Which superhero would you pick to be if you had the choice?
Thor.
That was a good solid answer.
That was quick.
Thor.
Really fast.
Yeah.
Scotty?
Man, that's really tough.
Sam? Whoever's got him first, lock him and load him. Giggler?
I think I'd go Iron Man, so I could be super rich.
Nice.
Fly around.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would say
Wouldn't
that.
have said that 20 years ago.
It's all about the money for
I
you.
mean, I was going to say Batman, but then
You've been corrupted.
He's just too, I don't know.
Just kidding.
It's
You'd be really cool flying around in that suit.
Yeah, I agree.
How about you guys?
I've been on a big Booster Gold kick.
Oh my God.
I really love Booster Gold.
What a pick.
Time traveler.
Yeah.
He's funny. He's just having a good time.
Trying to be a hero.
Trying to be a hero.
That's pretty good.
Robot sidekick. Skeets.
Sam?
Spider-Man, I think.
Ooh,
I
nice.
really just enjoy, I don't know, something about the character.
I could see that.
All right, Gary, you're up.
For me, it'd have to be Superman.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Have to be just because, I'd just be my guy since I was a kid. If not, I quite like Luke Cage.
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think okay, I know that I don't want to don't want to get down that race hole here, but he's a badass.
No,
Yeah.
you should
You know,
dress.
he's a-
You should dress
He
as
is.
Luke Cage and come to America and do the whole thing.
No.
I don't think I would get through border control. I think it'd be a bit played out.
Yes.
Or take
Hopefully.
him back. Yeah, or take him back for the rubber glove. One of the two. I don't fancy either. You know. But yeah, I love those comic. I
Yes.
love the Luke Cage comic books, and I love the TV show. I
Show
thought it
was great.
Awesome.
Yes, I loved it.
Yeah.
I love that
Fantastic.
show.
And he's a great character. I just think that he's a badass. But yeah, I think for me it'd be Superman.
Either Son of Krypton or Harlem's Hero. Those are good choices.
Yep.
Gary Mullen, man, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate your time. I know it's later over there in Scotland. You're on your time off. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, we're welcome, and I will hook you guys up with the tickets, but you have to come in either the Superman t-shirts or maybe not the drag, but definitely the superhero. Some kind of with the t-shirts or something or other. That's got to be the deal.
Deal.
Absolutely.
Promise.
Deal, absolutely.
That's a
And
promise.
as they say, our people will talk to your people, and we can't wait to see you
Fantastic.
March 15th, man. Safe travels to you. Enjoy the tour. Tell Ben and Jackie that we say hey, and we can't wait
Will do.
can't wait to see you guys in town.
Hey, you guys take it easy. We'll see you soon.
Good night.
See you, Gary.
Good night, man.
See ya.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
Mostly Superheroes is proud to be funded in part by our sponsors. Mostly Superheroes is funded in part by paying patrons who receive early, ad-free, and exclusive episodes. Subscribe at mostlysuperheroes.com/support. Thank you for supporting your favorite independent podcast. Mostly Superheroes is an independent podcast owned and operated by Carrogan Ventures in St. Louis, Missouri. Hosted by Logan Janis, Andy Hunn, and Scott Swearingen. Brand and creative by Carrie Clark Design. Music by Audionautics. Learn more at audionautics.com. Find more at mostlysuperheroes.com.